This episode is brought to you by KPMG. At KPMG, innovation is the go-to state of mind. Their visionary thinkers and advanced technology help you see beyond the now, uncover new insights, and turn them into opportunities. KPMG can help you leverage the value of data and drive transformational outcomes through innovation. To explore their thinking, go to kpmg.us.
This episode is sponsored by Custom Ink. Custom Ink brings people together with custom gear, from employees and customers to teammates and friends. At their easy-to-use website, you can create personalized custom gear, including water bottles, backpacks, polos, jackets, and so much more. And it's all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get started today. Visit customink.com. That's customink.com.
Benjamin Betts. It's all about the Benjamin Betts, baby. You know what's up? Yes, Benjamin Betts, baby. You hear that theme song, and you know what time it is. It is time for Benjamin Betts, the show where two best friends make bets, and all of the winnings go to charity. I am part of that equation. My name is Jared, and with me, my best friend, Corey Dickman. Corey, how are you this morning?
I'm doing really well. I'm the other half of the equation. That's good.
That is.
Yeah.
It's you.
It's a math. It's
very
a math
simple
problem.
Equation. very simple equation.
Very easy to put together. 1 + 1. Aren't they doing like core math now in schools?
It's so different. I like my daughter went in this morning and she's taking practice tests for her statewide stuff in the 3rd grade. It's called PCAP here in Tennessee.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this stuff was around since when you and I were kids, just in different forms, right?
Yeah, I've just heard it's a lot different now. So maybe our equation on our podcast is different.
Maybe. But that's the great thing about bets. People talk data, equations. You get in there, you do a little bit of research, you put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
And if you're in the Benjamin Betts situation, you come out with a little bit of cash for charity.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, can I have another Usher confessions? These are my confessions with Jared. So we're in I came to visit you last weekend, and we went to a Pokemon tournament, which was great. We didn't do well because we were rushed and didn't have time to put decks together. Anyway, that's beside the point. That's for another podcast.
Like Tom Bean all over again.
Yeah. We'll talk about it on Teach Me Pokemon. You dropped me off at the airport, and you know what's going on? There's some games happening. Some NBA games.
In Tennessee, baby.
And I'm still in Tennessee, baby. So I get on my little FanDuel account. I had $31 in there. It was what was refunded to me after that Monday night game that didn't happen because of DeMar Hamlin. And so I had some chips to play with. Caught at the end of 2 games, so I could do some live betting. Got it up to $150. That's where I was at. So 30 to 150, 2 bets. So I was like, okay. And then it lured me in, Jared. It sucked me in. Houston Trailblazers. And I thought,
oh no,
and
this was the same game.
And I thought, I'm gonna put a little same game parlay on this. I did a 4-legger, put all the money into it. If I had won, it would have netted me $1,300. My 4 legs of this were over 226 points, I think it was, which that was...
Yeah, that was easy.
I would have put my actual mortgage on that. I couldn't believe that. So that was one. I had Lillard 30 points, plus 30 points. That was my big regret. I could have doubled it.
Doubled up that, yeah.
Matisse Thybulle, who is my favorite Blazer right now. Just Philly gave him to us, which I'm so grateful for. He's amazing. He had to hit 2 3-pointers. He hit 2 threes, so it was great. The problem was Jeremy Grant, who should be walking 20 points no matter who he plays, especially against Houston. I'm like, dude, that's all day. So Jeremy Grant, 20-plus points. Well, Dame just took all the points. He took all the points. And so Jeremy Grant ended with 12 points, so I lost a bet.
Oh.
So I'm down to $10 in my account right now. So
that's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking stuff. I also recall some other bets that were made on the trip. We had a a nice little evening
Yes.
at the University of Tennessee's arena.
Oh man.
And watched the Volunteers host the Gamecocks of South Carolina.
Yeah.
And that was
freaking brutal.
Great venue, by the way. Like, let me throw that out there. Like,
let's start there.
Let's start there. Fans, I don't have a dog in the hunt. They seemed pretty engaged for a game against a no name, no nothing team in South Carolina. So I can get with that. But two things I had issues with. Corey and I took a bet about the difference in the game and the overall score. And when you talk about classless running up the score, I will cite this game for a very long time.
Yeah. That left-handed guy, don't know who it is, thought he was Lillard out there shooting threes, and they were going in, and it was depressing. Because I think at one point, we had the two bets we had were the over. We had bet the under on total points,
right?
Which felt like a lock at one point, and then it was South Carolina plus 25 and a half.
Yeah, 25, 26 and a half, something like that.
Yeah, that one became apparent that wasn't going to happen because, like you said, Tennessee was running up the score. But, man, they just kept hitting those threes. And
it was brutal.
It was awful. So the 25 and a half wasn't even close. I think Tennessee won by 40. But the over-under, I think we were 3 off, even with all of that craziness happening.
Well, it was hard because the refs were clearly in on it.
Oh, yeah.
There was a point at the end of the game where this guy from the bench came in. His foot was easily 3 foot inside of the 3-point line.
Dude.
And they counted that as a 3, and he got the foul.
Yeah, that was
it was just like, okay, clearly, the refs are betting over on the MGM platform.
Yep.
And they've got some parlays to hit too, which was hard on us.
No joke. They knew they had cheated on that, and I think they understood. Whoever that kid is, I'm sure those refs have reffed in Tennessee before, or a Tennessee game. They probably got behind it too. Figured, the game's a blot. Let's just give the kid the 3. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they genuinely cheated us on that because that couldn't have been more blatantly a 2-pointer. It was so obvious. Like, so I would have sent my letter in to the NCAA, but then that guy had the dunk and it didn't matter. So it's like, whatever. But yeah, that was blatant. Like, probably how players felt, like African-American players felt in like the 60s, where they were just getting cheated all the time and like refs didn't give them anything. I bet
so this is Jim Crow.
This is Jim Crow, Tennessee right here. That is what that was in reverse, I guess. So
now minus all of our huffing and puffing and ref blaming and player blaming. I don't think I've ever seen a worse men's NCAA offense, and I've been to a lot of basketball games.
Yes.
That South Carolina offense was hard to watch.
Yeah.
It looked unorganized, like nobody wanted the ball. The only person that did was this burly number 10 guy. Mm-hmm. And he was throwing up some, I'll call them Jared shots, intramural Jared shots.
He wanted it, man. Like, he did. He looked like that guy that just gets a lot of run at the gym and never leaves, and he was a force in the first half. He got tired. He couldn't keep carrying them.
I don't think South Carolina scored but 15 points in that second half, something like that.
It was rough. It was rough.
It was really
they
brutal.
Did their part for the under. I don't blame South Carolina one bit for that part, but yeah, dang it, Tennessee. Anyway, you and I will both be picking them to at least the Elite 8 in our bracket, I think. Maybe the Final 4.
Tennessee looked real good.
I want number 13 needs to be drafted by the Blazers. I think he's an NBA player. So
I'm looking at the stat line right now. South Carolina put up 19 points in the second half. And 18 of those 45 points were scored by our boy H. Brown. H. Brown.
H. Brown. Oh my! Is that the 3-point shooter? Oh, that's number 10. Number 10. H. Brown.
Tennessee put up 85 in that game, which is just embarrassing.
Yeah, it's bad. It was bad. But anyway, we lost some money on that. Not much, like $10 on each one. So it wasn't, but it was enough to keep us engaged. I do think, I love that in a controlled fashion, sports betting, it's just great. It keeps you really engaged in all types of games that normally you wouldn't have a dog in the race. Now you have a dog. Dog in the race. Maybe that's the name of
that game's super boring for us.
Super boring.
If we didn't have the betting going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Jared, that's the name of our sports betting platform. Dog in the race. A dog.
Dog in the fight.
Sports dog. Dog sports. Dog betting. No, that's like dog racing. I don't know. It's a work. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
Sponsored by Michael Vick. This is the dog.
Sponsored by Atlanta Falcons and Michael Vick. And then the next week it'd be sponsored by PETA and Petco, where the pets go.
So sorry.
I just want to start reading ads for people that don't even pay us to do it. Let's just see what happens.
Oh, I love it. And then maybe they like it enough that that's an interesting strategy. It's almost like just sucking up enough to the where they're like, oh yeah, cool.
Okay, we like that. Thanks for the free advertising.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, should we talk some NBA?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit NBA because there's been a lot of news. Everybody saw LeBron go down, and they don't know when he's coming back.
Yeah.
We're watching a lot of teams trying to find their identity post All-Star game. What are some of your thoughts, and how is that translating into some of your bets right now?
I think Sacramento is, at least for this season, gonna be the real deal. I do not think that translates into future seasons, but at least for this one, I think they have all the momentum. They've realized everyone else is just losing. It's just there's so many teams in the middle. In the top half there, if you're not Denver, I think they're going to seize this. And those Sacramento crowds, I remember back in 2000, like they had good crowds there, the cowbells and all that stuff. So they're going to rise. So I think Sacramento, first playoffs since 2006, Jared, like our life that we've known each other, we've never seen the Sacramento Kings in the playoffs. You and I have never.
Wow, because all of those like Weber, Bibby teams.
They flamed out in like 2004 or 5, maybe.
Because that's funny because I mean I grew up watching. Those were the finals that I watched in high school.
Yeah, the
Oh, that's weird. Wow, what a nice statistic.
There you go. 2006. It's the longest, not even close. It's the longest running playoff drought in I think I want to say North American sports, but definitely the NBA. So that's gonna happen, which is really cool. And I think putting money on them is solid all the way through. Depending on the points you can get, I'm still Wizards. I'm still Chicago. That was nice last night. Put some money on the Bulls, so that was good. But yeah, I think I keep riding them. In the East, Milwaukee, Giannis came back, so I think they're on a mission for the 1 seed. So I would go, even though spreads get a little wonky, but I think Milwaukee is bound determined to win that 1 seed. So I would ride there. And then the Knicks, man. You have the Kings and you have the Knicks, who just at this point in the season, most seasons are just like, they never tank properly to like be the 1 seed or in the draft to have the number 1 pick, but they're clearly not going to make the playoffs. So they're never talked about. This season, Jared, Kings on one side, Knicks on the other. I think if you bet them the rest of the way, that's probably 75% win rate right there.
I think that's good because I don't think the Knicks want to move too much. I think they want to sit in that 4 or 5 and play Cleveland.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be interested in playing, Philly, Boston, or Milwaukee in the first round of the playoffs.
No. And the way their record is situated, I don't think they're moving up or down too bad. I think the Nets will fall. They'll still make the playoffs, but they're going to drop. So yeah, I think the Knicks are in that 4 or 5 spot, and we'll see what happens. Cleveland, is a younger team with Mobley and players like that, and Garland. I don't know. That'd be a good first round series. Normally, some of the Eastern matchups in the first round are a little hard to watch, but that one would be a good one.
It would, and it's also going to be super interesting because they didn't get Donovan Mitchell, right? They weren't willing to give up RJ Barrett to get Mitchell.
Yep.
And now it's like, are you going to let the guy beat you that you didn't go and get or try to close out a deal for?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I know
he's playing, Mitchell's playing for something beyond just like getting to the next round in this series.
Oh yeah. Like, and when he's focused in and he, the lights are bright, that man puts up points. So that'll be exciting. I like that. But yeah, those would be my takes. The West, I don't know, man. Flip a coin. I mean, I think Denver will play hard and they want Jokic to get that third MVP, which is tough, like very tough to do. So I think they'll be motivated and they'll just keep playing and winning games. But everybody else, shoot, I have no clue. I mean, besides Sacramento, everyone is just so jumbled. I think everyone is like trying, but they're like, well, everyone else is losing too. Like that's everyone's mindset in that crowd. And then, LeBron, I don't know, man. I mean, he's always been superhuman and everyone gets older, and
True.
I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting. I mean, if D'Angelo Russell can come back, Anthony Davis is a big time player. Maybe they can keep them in the 9-10.
Yeah.
And then maybe, LeBron can go on this run and that would be like a cool kind of story for him, right? Like, I was injured. I came back.
Yep.
You and I always talk about that game that like Paul Pierce got hurt.
Yeah.
On the way on the season that they won their championship. And it was like, he's faking it.
Came back with the wheelchair or whatever.
just to come back and play and all that. But did you hear Kendrick Perkins the other day speaking about Denver, that he thinks that they're pat statting old the Joker, and he thinks that they might be trying to stat pad him
for the MVP.
To MVP to keep a triple double going. They were talking about it yesterday on First Take, and like Stephen A and JJ were just like appalled. Like they were like KP tripping, like, and then they said the only reason they may be doing that is because they're 36-0 when he has a triple double.
Oh my gosh,
they're 36-0.
He just
has a triple double.
He just doesn't do it in the same way that like Russell Westbrook clearly did it. Like where he was like trying to, like, it always just seemed like Jokic does it in the flow of the game where you're like, oh, I didn't really even notice. And it's like less obvious when a 7-1 guy is getting rebounds versus like a 6'3 guy that everyone clears away from the ball so he can get it. Like that happened. There are highlights or lowlights, whatever you want to call it, of Russell, of like literally his teammates running away from the ball so Russell could pick it up for a rebound. Jokic, he's just huge. It comes to him. So it's like, I don't know. And then his passing.
He's a 5. He's supposed to be in 8.
That is debatable. I don't know what he is. But yeah, I don't think stat padding. Like, I don't know. He just looks so fluid out there when he plays. I will say, playoff Jokic is different. We've matched up against them a couple times. He's got to show it to me this year that he just wants to kill people out there.
I agree.
And I don't know.
It's the same thing with playoff Luka Doncic. It's like, I think even the game the other night showed that it's like during the regular season, nobody wants to like intensely guard him, right? Mm-hmm. What's the point? The man's going to get his points, but come playoffs, he's frustratable. Jokic is frustratable. Like, and that's what's so hard when you're given so much freedom in the regular season, and then you get D'd up when it matters.
Yeah.
And you can't play your regular, I'll call it a LA fitness ball.
Yeah, LA Fit, totally what it is. They have to rely on. I mean, Murray obviously will be big, and then whatever Kyrie Irving does, like you have to be able to defer to these other guys. Let them create and make shots and create for you because they're going to pull so much attention. And that's just where it always comes in. That's why it's like you always have to have the X factors or whatever. Those guys aren't X factors. They're second best players on the teams. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. Maybe they'll match up together. Dallas, Denver, second round. We'll see what happens.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be good ball. But I'd like to see them make it a little further. But I'm with you. I think that that Kings team is hot right now and they're young. They kind of are like where the Celtics were 2-3 seasons ago in terms of like star power and up and coming. And now we're seeing, in my opinion, in a place where the Celtics should win this championship hands down.
They should. They have the deepest team.
They should be the favorite by far.
Yeah. Their two best players are just dynamic wings. Like there's not They both play defense. Like they're like the young version of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Like they should win.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, they should win this year. But I don't know, man. You got Giannis over there, Drew Holiday and Middleton. I still wouldn't want to go through them. I think that's going to be tough. But
did you see Giannis on what was it, The Late Show?
He was on the Late Show.
Yeah, they had him reading off like insults towards the rest of the NBA. It was all in fun, but it was really funny.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Was he like into it? Like was
yeah,
he?
he was laughing. Like, and they had set it up at like all the big players, so it was like roasts of like Durant, and he was so funny. He like couldn't keep it together. He's like, I really love you guys. Like
they're making me do this.
They're making me do this, and they knew it. But they were really funny. You should take a look at them if you get some time.
I don't know who could ever hate that guy, even if he was like being serious, like hating on people. He's just he seems so lovable.
He is.
You know what isn't lovable? I've tracked my stats, so I've kept posting these bets. You know, we've kept going. There has been some rough patches, a nice little winning streak, another rough patch. I'm right now, so through March 1st, which is today, 60 wins, 41 losses. So
good.
Smack dab 59%. So the goal obviously is 60. And I think the height after like 10 games or whatever, you know, just to get some numbers in there, I think the height was probably like 71% or something. So obviously that probably wasn't super sustainable, but 60 is really good. So I want to try to get there. So we have 4 more weeks left, I think, of the regular season, 3 or 4 more weeks. So that's the goal, Jared. But I want to update you: 60 wins, 41 losses, 59%.
Have you hit the double L yet?
Oh yes, that came and went. Yeah, that was a very nice stat to be able to say. Yeah, that happened. I don't remember the night. I think Sacramento may have been involved on the other end, but yeah, it's okay. It's happened probably 4 or 5 times now.
Oh, that's not bad. So
okay.
So let's assume it's happened 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So 60 wins becomes 120 wins, right? Now we understand that this is, you know, stretching points on a parlay, and there's big advantages to that, but I'm just for the sake of what we're doing right now. So that's 120.
Yeah.
And then let's say 10 for sure L's, and of that 41, which would be 82, and then split the 71, which would be 35 and 35. So you're like 155 and 45,
which is crazy.
Yes.
That's pretty nuts.
But I mean, that's your sweet spot. You know, you love a teaser parlay, 2-team parlay teaser.
Again, if we were just put in a room and given like 5 hours to do this and no distractions, I would love to go back through and how many times I actually needed the tease, because there have been lots of moments where it was just like, I just was like, yeah, this is a for sure thing, but we're going to tease it anyway. And he didn't even need the points. So, you know, not all the time, obviously, because there will be games where I went back through, there was some that hit it by half point, you know, but a lot of times it's just like, oh, okay, I think this is going to happen, and it's a blowout. So I'd be curious about that too, but that'll come someday. I
promise the stats day on this episode. It's not going to happen for the NFL, but
someday
it is coming. It is coming.
It'll be a special episode drop,
and it will be that in depth. One of my just to tease that out a little bit. One of the things that we're going to be looking at that I'm very excited about is apart from looking at your mortgage bets, who between you and I had the better record?
Yeah.
On our 3-bet laydowns.
Oh, I would love to know. Our 3 bets. Oh, like on our single bets each week.
Yeah, our single bets that we would put. So I'm very interested to see that. We'll be looking at like teams that did us the dirtiest and that we rode and did the lot. We're going to be looking at a lot of fun things. We're going to turn into like a fun little quiz episode.
Oh yeah, I'm already thinking through like I'm like, I bet Jared edged me out a little bit, but then I'm thinking like, who did I ride? And I think there were some obvious ones, and then some obvious ones that hurt us, but it's okay. We don't talk about it. All right. I want to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to do our favorite segment of the show, League of Legends bets.
Cue the silver scrapes.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
All right, thank you, sponsors. Those were amazing ads. You killed it. Right now, Jared, we would queue up the Imagine Dragons song that we have for this, but it's not ready right now, so don't worry about it. All right, you want to go through what you did last week? You want me to tell you?
Yeah, I tried to remember. I think I did well on the earlier bets made, and then I think I goofed the 100T liquid game. I don't think it went very well for me.
Well, you actually went 3-2 in both matchups.
Okay.
So you are at
6-4.
6 wins, 4 losses. Puts you at a blistering 60% pick rate right now, which is great.
Ooh, that's money. That's money you can take home.
You can take home. That's what we want. So C9 TSM, you picked Cloud9 to win. They did. You said under 23.5 kills. There were 29 kills in that game.
Yeah, C9 got a little happy that game on the the new mid laner that they were trying out on that LeBlanc got a little juicy, baby. That was like they were handing him kills, man. That was like Russell getting those rebounds. They were handing that man kills.
Handing the kills. But which I think was the bet or the pick of the game for you, First Blood TSM.
Oh, I was watching this game. I was freaking out.
Incredible. They got the first blood. So Cloud9 wins this game convincingly, but you got the First Blood TSM. So Jared, that was huge. That was a big pick. You said over 1.5 inhibs. They got 2, barely though. They let the minions get that second inhib. So
the Winions, baby. The Winions.
Yeah, they did not care. They were going for the win, and those minions got your inhib, your second one. But because it was a slaughter, it was a quick game. 26 minutes. You said 30-40, so you missed that one. So
I did miss that one. I was just betting on a little more of that history being there, and it just wasn't. This is always a close game. Always.
Yeah. Well, and I think I don't want to say they gave up, but they definitely seemed a little outmatched in that mid to late game. Wasn't even late game. Like the mid game just rolled into the win. And that new mid laner, not bad. Like I've been, rolling Maple all year on our fantasy team up until last night when I dropped his booty. But so I've been watching some Maple and that new mid laner for Cloud9, LeBlanc, baby. If you can play LeBlanc player.
I think they benched him for tomorrow.
Oh, did they really?
Like I think they're putting what's his name back in?
Diplix or Dip?
Yeah, Diplix. I think they're putting him back in for this week.
Ooh, I don't like that.
That was really
shoot. I dropped my players that were playing Cloud9. I need to put them back in. I made 3 roster moves, by the way, last night. So
I picked up a big one too. I don't know if you saw.
Who'd you pick up?
I'm riding the wave, baby. I dropped my weakest points in my team are jungle and top lane.
Okay.
So I dropped Piosic and picked up River from the Golden Guardians.
Oh,
baby.
River. Yeah, he was like they rated him number 1.
He was just sitting there. It was a juicy pickup.
I can't wait for this week. So I looked and I'm like, I got to go big. I don't even know how these playoff things work, but I'm assuming they only picked the top 4. So I'm like, I got to win. I got to beat David, our buddy David. And I'm 2-3. He's 3-2. And I'm like, what team can I get the most players of? And then I looked at their schedule and I went with Team Liquid and I picked up Piosic off of the waivers. Let's go.
You're riding him, baby.
I just picked up 3 Team Liquid players. I'm like, screw it. Let's see what happens. I'm tired. I dropped double lift. He's an idiot. Closer, he's failed me. So I've left all my 100 Thieves players are on waivers if you want to go get them. But
what top laner you got? You got dropping a top laner?
I got Someday. No, I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep EG. I did was
I would drop him.
Nah, I got my 3 Team Liquid that David has no Team Liquid players. Then I have 1 EG. He has an EG. And I have 1 fly quest, and he has like 3 fly quests. So
yeah, you're not going to drop the fly quest.
No, I'm trying to counter him a little bit. We'll see if it works.
I like it. I like the strats.
Speaking of Team Liquid and 100 Thieves, Let's want to go through that game. It's a great transition. You had Team Liquid winning this game.
I did.
They should have. They threw
They
it.
should have. They absolutely should have.
It was a throw of all throws, and Team Liquid ended up winning, or 100 Thieves ended up winning. They shouldn't have won, but they did. But because of your efforts, you said 100 Thieves, though, plus 3.5 kills, which was great. Yep. They won. It was 14-11 in kills, so you had that well covered. They had the most kills. So that was great. You had Team Liquid first Baron. They did get the first Baron because they were winning this game and should not have thrown, but they did. Under 12.5 towers. If 100 Thieves had just picked one lane and closed out the game, you would have been fine here. I'm sorry, Team Liquid. But because they didn't, you would have hit all these bets, provided that the kills were close. But because 100 Thieves won, there were more turrets to be had. They got 13 turrets, and you were over by.
This is how I'm going to describe this. You're on the green. Great day for golf. You got about like a 12-foot putt. You've got the read. You've got the read. Then out of nowhere, a gust of wind comes and knocks the ball up. That was this. I felt like I had this.
You had it. You could have hit the fiver. Like, if they had just played a slow closeout game and not got a bunch of kills at the Nexus, you would have been fine. But because they threw, and because Team Liquid had cleared every turret, they got them all. Except the base ones. So they had 9 off the board. Or no, 6 off the board. And then Liquid had the first 3, so that was 9, and then they pushed in 10, 11, 12, and then 13th. They had to get those 2 at the end. So I'm so sorry, but you were close.
Makes me so mad.
But 40-minute game, Jared, plus 300, you got it. It was 41 minutes, 30 seconds. It was close, man. It was like they danced around for a while where it looked like they could have maybe ended, but 100 or Team Liquid defended the base pretty well, and that bought you another 2 minutes on that. So you got to thank Team Liquid.
I call that the core JJ effect.
The core JJ. So 3 wins, 2 losses there. So overall 6-4. Remember last week we're not counting. That was practice.
Sure.
That was practice. So you're 6-4. Are you ready? Are you ready to dive into this week?
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I feel like I know who you're going to pick on day 2 on Friday. I don't know what game you're going to pick on tomorrow for March 2nd.
Well, you know what's lame about this site that I'm not going to reference because maybe they would be mad if I did? It's like really struggling with giving me options here. Like, I'm just not getting Friday. It's only giving me Thursday. So that's really frustrating. We're just going to have to do Thursday or we can make it up for Friday.
Friday, maybe we just do picks, like winners, losers.
All right, well, let's do that. So Thursday, where I want to start, because I picked up all these players, and you picked up the other guy, and I want to see what happens. Team Liquid Golden Guardians.
You fool. You fool.
So let's go here. Let's pick this one.
Why are you picking up players into the hottest team?
Okay.
In the LCS right now.
All right. So you're going Golden Guardians here. They are minus 135 for the win.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me gold. Right. Easy. Like Liquid just cannot find the teamwork. There's so much individual talent on that team. I think more so than Golden Guardians. But Golden Guardians has the sauce right now, man. They are playing as a team. They're playing hot. They are boogieing.
They are playing really well. I will say that. Okay, who's getting first blood here?
I think this is like just a Golden Guardians like stomp.
Oh
like to me,
gosh.
that 100 Thieves Liquid game last week was the turning point for whoever won that game, right? It determined who's going to like slide into that last seed of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So Liquid could still fight hard. They could still maybe make it. I'm looking at the standings right now, and Liquid's in the 8.
Okay. How many go to the playoffs?
I believe it's top 6 make the playoffs.
So if they win both and certain teams lose, do they make it?
Right. Like where we're sitting right now is they're 1 game out of the playoffs.
Oh, they're hungry.
100 Thieves and TSM are both 5 and 6. You have Liquid at 4 and 7. And then Immortals and Dignitas, bless them, they're just getting rolled.
Yeah.
And then, Guardians, Evil Geniuses, Cloud9, FlyQuest kind of round out the top 4 with CLG and TSM sitting in the middle. So I just think like if you can't get over the hump of the team that you need to beat in order to keep your spot in the playoffs, I don't see you overcoming the team that may very well finish in the top 2 or 3 in Golden Guardians. Like they are hot, Corey. We've talked about this. They started 1-4, and they've won 6 straight games against the best teams. Like they're just killing it, man. So no, I think Liquid is defeated. I don't think there's nothing to me that says they have more things figured out. So Golden Guardians win, Golden Guardians first blood. Whatever else I can stick my name on the Golden Guardians in this game is what I think is going to happen.
Okay, well, this one you can't just go this route, but maybe I don't know how you're going to pick it. Over under kills 25.5.
I'm going to go above here. Like
Over, okay.
I Liquid can hang around. Like if they've shown anything in their games this year, it's that they can keep it interesting. And in my mind, keeping it interesting means more kills.
Okay.
Longer, right?
Okay.
Like we said, like Liquid had it last week.
Yeah.
They threw.
Yeah.
So
no,
I'll
they
take
did.
the over there.
Okay. We're going turrets again. 12.5. Over or under for the game.
I got to go over again. Like I think Golden Guardians get out to this early lead.
No, wait. No, you did under last time. You're going over?
Yeah, I'm sticking with over for everything in this game. I'm going Golden Guardians first blood, over on the kills, over on the turrets, and I'm going to take a longer game again. Like if I can take a 40-minute game again here, I think that's what happens. Like
you're going 40 to 50 minute?
Yeah, I'll take a longer game.
Okay.
I still think Golden Guardians are in control of this game. Like I don't think they ever lose the kill count. I don't think the gold ever swings super hard in Liquid's favor. But I don't think there's a point where Liquid ever has it and loses it, if that makes sense. I think Golden Guardians maybe has some bad dragon plays, maybe gets caught out, and it just keeps fluctuating the gold back to middle.
Okay.
But I'm taking a long game. Golden Guardians win.
Okay. That was the let's see, that game of the 5 on Thursday was based on the odds here was the closest matchup, or like the most even matchup. We're going to go with the one with the largest spread, and that's CLG FlyQuest. So
that's the largest. That's the largest spread.
That's the largest spread.
That's super insulting to CLG because looking at these games, the larger spread should probably be Cloud 900 Thieves, except 100 Thieves won last week. So I see you get a little bump, but CLG has a winning record. They're 6-5 right now. And I get that FlyQuest is 10-1, but I would, if I'm the CLG coach, I'm looking at this and I'm telling them that. We're the biggest underdog this week. That's ridiculous.
Well, then where are you going? What are you going to pick?
Oh, I'm picking FlyQuest.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not stupid.
Give me all that to be said. Yeah, screw CLG. Give me 8.5 is the kills. Plus 8.5 is the spread on this.
No, this is in the words of another famous sportscaster, closer than the experts think. Closer than the experts think.
Closer than the experts think. So you're going CLG?
CLG plus 8.5.
Oh, okay. CLG plus 8.5. Yeah, the over under here is 23.5, but 8.5. I mean, so that's you're kind of, it's interesting that those are closer than they should be. It for the math to work. Let's see. I'm going off of memory here. Give me first Baron. Who gets first Baron of the game?
I don't see FlyQuest out of control of this game. So you'd be counting on, I mean, it would be interesting. CLG's, if you look at their roster, I'm going to pull it up real quick and look at it from top to bottom. They don't have a bad team like whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, where they kind of fall off is I think they have a great jungler in contracts. We know what he is capable of. Luger and Poom can do well in the bot lane, but to me, it's like top mid struggles. Like I don't think Jenkins and Palafox are super strong players.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like Contracts is like a objective stealing machine, right? We've seen the highlights
Yeah.
on what this man does, and they're probably going to be playing from behind. So like, if you told me that he had like a 40-60, I'm going to go with it. I'm talking myself into it, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to say CLG takes the first Baron.
Let's go. I like it. I think that's a good pick. I think I could see them doing that, but FlyQuest keeps it together.
Or, I'm sorry, Dokla. I think Dokla is their starting top laner, not Jenkins. Or maybe they've been moving around. I haven't kept track of that super well.
That's right. So, yeah, this one, I don't know if you have the rosters pulled up. I'm going off script. Who is going to have the most kills in this game? What player between both teams?
Oh, that's a
player?
I mean, it's going to be a FlyQuest player.
Okay.
I think the question for me is whether it's going to be Prince, the AD carry for FlyQuest. It could be Vikla in the mid lane, but my gut says go Prince. So I'm going to say Prince is probably going to be just racking them up.
Okay. You probably get pretty good odds on that. I don't know what it would be, but I'd give you like plus 800 to try to pick the right player.
Okay.
Okay. And last but not least, we're going to go with inhib on this one. Over under 1.5 inhibs.
Keep giving me the over here. Like this FlyQuest team is just so talented. They can push lanes so much. They have maturity. They have young players. I think FlyQuest alone will take 2. And if it does end up being a closer game, I just think the better odds are always taking it. Even though you're going to get better odds saying under, I'll take over again.
Okay. Over 1.5 inhibs. Gotcha. Yep. All right. That's Thursday. Let's track this, see how you do. Let's go quickly through Friday. So you're just picking here. You're just picking. Okay. CLG 100 Thieves, first game of the day.
CLG gets beat, loses close in a FlyQuest game. 100 Thieves probably loses to Cloud9 the previous day. To me, the team with the more resilience, and that's based on veteran leadership, is 100 Thieves, do have more of the veteran players. So 100 Thieves, I'm taking them in a close one at the 4:00 game.
Okay, 100 Thieves. Dignitas C9.
I mean, I don't think this is
Do they get the upset?
The worst team in the league versus the number 2 team in the league right now, I believe.
Okay.
So give me Cloud. I'm a Cloud9 fanboy. I cannot see an upset happening here. The interesting storyline here is you do have Jensen in the mid lane going up against one of his old teams.
Sure, yeah, I like that.
But no, I don't think it matters. There's not enough around Jensen to make that team matter right now.
Yeah, I wish they had the spread up for this one right now. I bet you it's not pretty. Okay, FlyQuest, Evil Geniuses.
I want to do that one last because that's the big match.
That's the game of the day.
Yeah, that's the game of the day for sure.
TSM Team Liquid.
Oh, this is 2 mid ranges, but since you're my boy,
yeah, come on.
I'm gonna ride with you here and say that great TSM throw into a Liquid win.
TSM is not good, so come on, Team Liquid. This is mainly why I picked up 4 of your players. So come on,
for just this type of situation.
Immortal, the last game of the night. Immortals GG, Golden Guardians. Who you got?
I got Golden Guardians. Like you can't not bet the hot team in my opinion right now. Like. They've proven it. They've deserved it. Like, don't quit a bad thing.
I remember when Immortals were was the new team on the block, and they were always fun to root for. Now it's like, who are you anymore? Yeah,
well, that's because they were they were an LEC team, right? I mean, that was that Sven. That was that super team. Or no, Immortals was the original Immortals team was like Hooney. Who else?
Yeah, they did have Hooney on Immortals. Yeah.
And that team was hot, man.
Yeah.
That was a really good put together roster.
They just flamed out, I think, in the playoffs. I think they got destroyed. Like, I think they were regular season, if I remember right. But Yeah, no, you're thinking. Are you thinking G2?
No, who's that?
Oh no, no. Oh my gosh, not Fnatic, but Origins.
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 Yeah, Origins. Who
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
because that's when Xpeke came back.
Yep. And that team
And
was
Sven and
freaking
Mithy.
loaded.
Yeah, they were loaded. That was a great team.
Gosh.
That
who
was
who was AD carrying? Sven
I
was
think that
AD
was Sven.
carrying.
Yeah, and Mithy was
And then
support.
Who was support?
Mithy.
Oh,
Sven and
yeah.
Mithy. And then
That team was so good. God damn it.
wasn't Soaz the top laner, or was he always Fnatic? He might have always been
I
Fnatic.
can't remember. I want to go back and look, but that Origin team was making
Well,
noise.
And they were like, that was the year they were both in the semis at Worlds, Fnatic and Origins against, probably was 2 Korean teams. I don't even remember, but it was like, God, they were knocking at the door, and then they both lost.
They were hot. They were playing a super. I remember it was Sven on that Lucian.
Yeah.
And they were just speeding him up and shielding him, and he was just crushing.
Yeah.
It was
Reckless
terrifying.
was Fnatic. He was the AD carry. He was like the face of Fnatic for a long time.
Yes.
Other than that,
100%.
Yeah.
100%. All right. So I'm looking up how this game ended.
Are you looking at FlyQuest EG that you're looking
I'm
up?
looking up the last time they played together
Okay.
and kind of where it ended. So this game ended last time at about 33 minutes.
Okay.
FlyQuest won about, let's see if I can see it just at its finale as it all shuts down. Yeah, right there. 19 kills to 10 kills. Let's see if I can see. With running Caitlin Lux to very effective. Golly, man. He was fed. Prince was fed. Yeah, give me Prince. I want Prince with the most kills for sure. But in 32 minutes. So pretty definitive win here. EG just didn't look like they could get it together. A lot of issues in the jungle, it looks like, coming out from Inspired, which is weird. So I am going to actually take EG in the upset here.
EG in the ups. You're going to give FlyQuest its second loss.
I am, because I think coming out of last week, FlyQuest feels very secure. I think EG is looking to, they don't want to be, they want to be sitting at 2 or 3, right?
Okay.
You don't want to be the 4 potentially going into the 1.
Yeah.
Like this, we're all talking about seeding plays now. So, I mean, this is your chance to prove it. And I think they're going to rewatch this game film and they're going to realize and figure some things out. Inspired was on Vi, should have had a better game into an Amumu of Spica. And I think they just got outdrafted. Looking across the board, I think they just got mega outdrafted by here. So I think it changes. Close game.
Okay.
I'm not saying EG rolls, but I'm going to take the upset here over FlyQuest.
All right. Your 5-team parlay here gets you plus 3,500 if you hit all these. No, I don't know. I'm making that up, but maybe. Would you give me $100 if that was the odds for this?
Oh, would I put 100 down on this?
Yeah, if it was plus 3,500 for the win. If I would pay you $3,500, you have to give me 100.
I have to give you 100. We could talk about that. I'm not opposed to that.
I'm testing out my sports betting site.
Yeah, I'm trying to take the fam to the beach this summer. That might work out.
You could be my first member of Coco Bets.
Coco Bet.
Get on a Coco Bet. Did you make a Coco Bet today?
You just need Conan to sponsor.
Coco Team Coco. Okay, I want to. Okay, so we have 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Evil Geniuses, Team Liquid, and Golden Guardians. Those are your wins.
Everyone on the same side. I picked everyone what is that? I picked every red side team, I think.
You are maybe a smart man. I don't know. We'll see. I want to bring up one quick point before we go, and it's where I'm always like, how do we make League of Legends like better, I guess, in NA, just from a viewing perspective, from a professional league perspective, and I go to who does it the best, and I'm looking at LCK right here. You know how they do their games? and I don't know if this is good or bad, but they do 2 every day. They do 2 games. So KT Rolster versus Gen G, and these other teams that I don't know, they play tomorrow. And then Friday, it's 2 teams I don't know, and then SKT and another team I don't know. And then Saturday, 2 games. Sunday, 2 games. Wednesday, 2 games. It's like they do these 2 games every day. The only off day they have is Monday and Tuesday. And then they get back at it 5 days a week. Is that better, or do you like it all on one day or
I like
2
it
days?
better. I like it better for the fans as long as like playoffs are stacked on a time.
Yeah.
Because to me, it just keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard for, I think, a lot of people to watch all of the games, like sit down and be like, I'm dedicating my Thursday afternoon and evening to watching 5 LCS games.
Yeah.
I that's hard.
Yeah.
But 2 games every day at the right time, maybe you catch a little bit. And to me, that's more of a true. It feels more like the NBA, the NHL, the MLB.
Yeah.
Right. This other model feels like the NFL.
Yeah, but even, and you're right. You're so right. But even the NFL would probably admit, I think they like it when games get spread around, like Thursday night, and then those Saturday weird ones, and then Sunday, obviously, and then Monday night, and a couple during COVID, and remember they'd push some games like a Tuesday, and I bet you the league was like thrilled about that. They're just like,
they're looking for exposure everywhere.
Yeah,
but that's ultimately, I mean, that the NFL is the way it is because of its violent and contact nature.
Yes,
people need to repair, but like that, none of that is true for people sitting in front of a computer. I still think it's a sport.
Yeah.
I'm not going to demean what they're doing, but I kind of like that. Like I'd be interested to see what that is like.
Yeah.
For the LCS, and I would tune in more. Like I would watch the highlights more regularly. Like I would I'll wake up and watch Sports Center. Oh yeah, let's see how the FlyQuest Immortals game went last night.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Nah, man, they're playing all the time. They play their league game, and then they go and do scrims for 8 hours, and it's the same almost. Like
if I was their coach, I just wouldn't even tell them what's what. Oh yeah, we're scrimming SKT later. It's just scrim, just another thing. And they'll be like, well, coach, when are we ever going to play a game? I'm like, it's off season. Like, just try your hardest. Like,
oh man, you got to go back and listen to that Sven interview where they had him on the dive, and he was like talking about playing teams and scrims, and they were like, this was Golden Guardians. I think had only won like 3 in a row at this point, so they hadn't gone on their big win streak, but they were in the middle of it. And they were like, Sven, like, are they, did you see this coming? Playing them in scrims? Like, did you see this win streak coming? And he's like, no, they're terrible. They're bad. They're really bad. And I laugh at their plays. And it's just like how condescending he was. And it was just like, no, in scrims, they're terrible. And they're bad. They're all bad. And I was just like, well, now look who's laughing. Now they got a bunch of wins. So
yeah, now they right behind you in the standings, my guy.
That was funny.
So
anyway,
careful. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to pick a little something here.
Oh, hit me.
Let's see. I want to look at this real quick. I'm gonna have you bet on one LCK game a week.
Oh, I get an LCK game? Oh shoot!
Yeah, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna take you back to the motherland.
Look at the records. I don't know anything else about these teams.
Okay, here we go. I think this is a decent game. This is today.
Okay.
Or tomorrow, actually, for the sake of it. KT Rolster.
Okay.
Against Gen G. Both teams have a winning record. Gen G 9-3. KT Rolster 7-5. These are best of threes, Corey.
Oh, okay. Dang. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
These are best of threes.
All right.
Who do you like in a best of 3?
KT Rolster, the 2 players I know on here are Cuz, the jungler, and BDD, the mid laner. And I know BDD is really good. Who was the other team? Oh, Gen G.
Gen G.
Yeah, they're 9-3. Oh, Peanut. I didn't even know he still played. Oh man, I might just have to, just because of Peanuts on this team, and I know who that is. Standings are close, 7-5. KT Rolster Gen G's 9-3. Best of 3. I am going to take I'm going to take KT Rolster. I think their mid laner, BDD, is better than whoever the mid laner is for
Better
Gen
than
G.
Chovy?
Better than Chovy.
Ooh,
Yeah,
all
BDD is going to beat Chovy one-on-one. And Peanut,
that.
I love you, Peanut, but you're old, man. Like, you're old. I don't know why you're still playing. Like, there's only one old player in LCK that I put my faith in, and that man is on the 12-1 team right now, and that's their mid laner. But we're not picking them. So, yeah, give me KT.
I think you're insane. You're taking a roster that was pretty well intact from last year's Worlds and saying KT in the upset. Okay,
yeah, upset. They're motivated.
This.
They're motivated.
We're gonna call this section Corey picks Korea.
I like Corey in the motherland. Corey picks Korea. Yeah, they're right behind Hanwha and Live Sandbox. They're right behind him. KT Rolster is, so they're gonna catch him.
You want to know what's just crazy looking at this?
What?
The world champions from last year sitting at 9th.
That's crazy.
And I mean, one of those reasons Piosik is now in NA. And some of their star players went off to do other things from last year.
Wait,
so
Piosik was on this team? He was the jungler?
He is the reigning world champion jungler.
And I got him? I
just dropped him.
Yeah, great. Oh, I'm going to channel it now. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You didn't know how to use him. I do.
Oh,
You didn't know.
It's Corey. This is tale as old as time. Prince saves princess. LCK player comes to NA and does nothing. This is not new news.
He is yelling at his team. Like, he is the jungler, and he's like, you guys are so dumb. Like, I'm telling you what to do, and you don't listen. You're dumb NA players. That is what the poor man. This would be putting like Tom Brady on the Sam Houston State football team, and you're just like, I'm throwing you the ball. Like,
no, but you got to understand why they come here, Corey. It's like when you win the Super Bowl and you say you're going to Disney World. That's what coming to the LCS is. They're here for the food, for the culture. They may actually, they're in LA. They may actually want to go to Disneyland. They've never had Tex-Mex before. Like, winning is not an option when you're like, oh yeah, I'd like to go to the LCS. It is a cultural experience. It is not a practice in winning.
Oh my gosh. They got to bring their winning here. So when Core JJ, who's he on again? EG? No, CLG. No.
Core JJ is with him on Liquid.
Oh my gosh, they have the two world champions on the same team?
On the same team.
Oh man, Team Liquid's going 2-0 this week. I didn't know that. I feel it now. They needed to know that I know that. It's just different. I can't explain it. It's a superpower. It's just what it is. So now they know. Now they know.
So that's why I was hyped. That's why I reached to get Piosik in the draft. And yeah, it has not. He did me well against you. Like, that was the saving grace.
That's the only reason you won. I don't even remember. No, you won by a lot.
He was putting up the points when Cloud9 wasn't.
So their mindset, because we are going to own a team at some point. So I'm just thinking of team building. They went with, give us the shot callers from Korean world champions, but we're going to then fill the carry lanes. We're going to fill with NA. And that's clearly not worked.
No. It's
I would have thought that would have worked.
Who's currently the ADC down there? Is it Yeon?
Yeah, I picked him up. Yeon.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this team, and I just don't see any continuity. Like you've brought in, you have Summit, epic LCK top laner, right?
Yeah.
Then you bring in, you have Bwipo to back him up, who I know they were experimenting with last year, and Bwipo's a really great player from the LEC. Core JJ has proven himself world champion, dominant support. But then to me, it's like, who are your big carries, right? Like,
yeah.
Core JJ and Piosik cannot put this team on their back. you're right. They have them in the shot calling positions, but when you don't have the mechanical talent and the instant reaction, Yeon and Summit and whoever in the world is supporting down here,
Yeah.
it's just not going to work.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it clearly isn't. Yeah, it clearly is not the formula. Let's see how they do this week. I definitely don't know about Bradley in the top lane. I don't know if Bradley can do
No,
anything.
he's not. He's not. He's like third
Who?
string.
Are you looking at the roster right now?
Yeah.
What position is Appa? Is he Phil?
He is. And we haven't seen a whole lot of him. I forget where he was slotted. He played. I'm trying to remember the last time he was on stream. I can't remember.
That's what I want to be. I just want to be on the team and be that position. Phil and be Mongols
Phil.
or Al Milker.
Like all of my ranked games.
Yeah, Phil. I just, peacemaker. I don't want to tell you what position you want to run. I'll just take anything. Give me anything.
And then I get mid and I'm like, trade. Trade. Somebody want mid?
And then you just roll with that LeBlanc and see what happens.
Oh, not the LeBlanc.
And they're flaming you.
Oh, yep. Nope.
All right, Jared. I'm pumped to see this results. We're adding more and more league. This is good. This is going to carry us through the summer. The dog days of summer, if you will.
Oh, I just can't do baseball, Corey. I can't do it.
We won't do baseball, but we'll do League of Legends. We'll keep doing it. And we may add a couple leagues. Maybe we'll do Europe in there too. I don't know. Maybe we'll create our own fantasy league. Who knows?
I like it.
So,
well, you know what we're going to be betting on heavily come next year?
Is pickleball.
No.
Oh, okay.
The Olympics.
Oh, I was trying to think of the Olympic song right off the top of my head and I couldn't. I was going to. No, I have no idea what it is. Well, that'll be exciting. Give me Olympics. We may have to watch ourselves because I don't want to say things during the Olympics that are like, looked at like stereotypically. We're just going to go with tradition and what teams do well and what because of facts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Gymnast, pick Russia.
Gymnast, Russia. I don't know. Wrestling. Czechoslovakia. No, I don't know. Kyrgyzstan. Anyway. All right, Jared. This is good. This is fun. Let's see how we do, and we'll recap it next week.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Benjamin Bets.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Get your bets in. Be sure to follow at Rogue Coco.
At Rogue Coco. Hey, I'm getting some followers on our Facebook group. I don't even know who they are, but,
like it.
Benjamin Bets Facebook group. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.